Welcome to Coin Retrospectives, short histories of old coins. And this is the Washington Quarter, first minted with this design in 1932, carrying on through 1998, and again in 2021. It's a fairly simple design, with the United States' first president, George Washington, on the obverse, and an eagle with wings spread on the reverse. In early 1931, the Treasury proposed that the $50 be issued with Washington's visage on to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth in February 1732. Congress agreed, but stated it should be the quarter instead, and so a design competition was started, with the designs of Laura Garden Fraser coming out on top. Fraser was no neophyte to coin designing. She'd already designed a few, including the Grant and Fort Vancouver commemorative $50. She was also the wife of James Earl Fraser, designer of the Buffalo nickel, and collaborated with him to design the Oregon Trail commemorative $50. However, her design was not to hit the pockets of American citizens for another 90 years. Treasury Secretary Andrew Mellon didn't like that a woman had won the competition, so he stubbornly sat on Fraser's design and declared that another sculptor had won instead. This was John Flanagan, whose work mainly consisted of statues, plaquettes, and medals, but not coinage. One of the terms of the design competition was that the entries had to be based on the 1785 bust of Washington done by Jean-Antoine Houdon, that which you can see here on display at George Washington's home at Mount Vernon, Virginia. Thanks to the staff there for allowing me to film this. It is up to the eye of the beholder as to which design is better. This numismatist, if I may be so vain as to call myself, deigns that Fraser's is more detailed and looks better overall. And hey, she won the competition besides. Anyway, Flanagan's design replaced the outgoing 1916 to 1930 Standing Liberty Quarter designed by Herman McNeil. No quarters were issued in 1931, in part because there wasn't a need for new coins due to the American Great Depression, and in part to wait for the aforementioned presidential birthday. This new design would last for 66 years, which is a streak beaten only by the Roosevelt dime for the longest lasting design with no major changes in U.S. history. The only things changed in this time period were the composition and the mint mark. In 1965, it went from 90% silver and 10% copper to an alloy of 92% copper and 8% nickel, a change brought about by the rise of silver prices. And in 1968, the mint mark moved from just below the olive branch on the reverse to the right of Washington's bust on the obverse. If you want to get technical about it, there was the bicentennial design change, but given that it was only the date it was modified, I don't really count it. It's worth mentioning that West Point minted quite a few quarters during this time period, but it's no use scouring your 70s quarters for a W mint mark. These issuances bear no such defining mark, and it's impossible to tell the difference from Philly coins. And finally, in 1980, Philadelphia issues began to bear a mint mark. Flanagan's design was ended in 1999 with the beginning of the 50-state quarters program, and mint officials felt that Washington needed a little sprucing up. Thus, William Cousins stepped in, modifying Flanagan's design to give his hair more detail and moving around some of the wording to better fit all of the required text on the obverse to leave the reverses free for the state designs. Cousins actually designed two of the first 10 state quarters, namely the Delaware and New Hampshire releases. Cousins' modified design would last through the 50-state quarters program, the 2009 District of Columbia and U.S. Territories program, and the America the Beautiful program that ended in 2021. However, before Fraser got her long-awaited time in the spotlight, Flanagan's iconic design was brought back for 1 year only for the remainder of 2021. The obverse remains unchanged for 1998, but the reverse features an image of Washington crossing the Delaware by Benjamin Sowers, and sculpted by Michael Gaudioso. But finally, in 2022, Fraser's design hit circulation with the release of the American Women Quarter program, set to run until 2025, depicting famous American women throughout history. However, Fraser's design might be halted after the 2027 release of the Youth Sports Quarter program, as it's set to be redesigned in that year. However, it has been stated that Washington will still feature on the obverse, as after the completion of that program, quote, "The obverse of the quarter dollar shall bear a design containing a likeness of George Washington," close quote. And so ends our look at the Washington Quarter, nearly 90 years of history featuring our first president. If you enjoyed this video, do please consider subscribing. I make occasional videos about interesting coin history. And as always, leave your 2 cents in the comments, and have a great day.